We have a plan.
Okay.
We have 4 minutes, All right. So anything you need to teach me?
Well, if you want, I have a song I wrote that I want to try to do. I could either just do as a little solo, interlude, or you guys can do. It's
Is that
mostly.
the one you did last year? Or
No, this is a new song. It's A, E, but there's a little F sharp minor.
If you do your Dylan, I'll do that with you.
I think we can each. I think we can each do a solo thing too. But then I'll do a Dylan thing. It's really simple.
I'm going to do a solo thing. I need all the help I can.
Yeah. But I've got one song that I wrote that I can either show you or I can sing. So
I will try to pitch
or you can just pitch in because you're good at this. And if you're comfortable pitching in, pitch in. And if you're not, just, when in doubt, lay out.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's got a.
I don't want to mess you up.
It's got a bridge, but it's like 3. It's 4 chords instead of 3. So, and then I did think it would be fun to do a Dylan song or two because you just won a Nobel Prize. But one of the ones that I can think of is also a 3/4.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we know what song we're in with. What are we going to start with?
We're gonna start with David.
Okay. So I'm going to step in.
Or just step in as you feel.
I have my slide.
How do
You're going to have to retune this thing and then retune it and then retune it.
Well.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Paul Cure. I'm with the CWA Fundraising Committee. I'm a little starstruck because David Wilcox is here and he wrote one of my favorite songs, Chet Baker's unsung swan song. If you've been inspired to help CWA, there are contribution envelopes that the ushers will have as you exit, as well as, thank you so much for helping to make the CWA thrive and to be such a success, and thank you for making it till Friday. Before we get started, let's all take a moment to silence our cell phones. Silence. And it's my ability here to introduce from the Arts Committee, Jamie Kreutz, to introduce the Guitar Jam.
Hi, I'm Jamie Kreutz. I'm a volunteer with CWA Arts and Film Committees. Welcome. Today is Friday, April 14th. It's 11 a.m. I'm pleased to introduce panel 5301, the Guitar Jam, here at Mackey Auditorium. What is Guitar Jam? Guitar Jam is a conversation, an unrehearsed gathering of interesting CWA panelists who happen to play guitar. 3 people who come from a variety of professional and amateur backgrounds, musical backgrounds, just hanging out together here on Mackey's back porch to talk, sing, and play. And we get to listen in. These folks are all accomplished in their fields with impressive bios that I encourage you to read in your CWA program. I'll touch on a few highlights. Astrobiologist David Grinspoon currently leads the house band of the universe, playing all the dive bars within a 20 light-year radius. I think that's his main thing. But in his spare time, he's a science communicator, professor, and prize-winning author, and you should check out his latest book. Based in Washington, D.C., he's a senior scientist at the Planetary Science Institute, chair of astrobiology at the Library of Congress, and he maintains a Colorado connection as adjunct professor of astrophysical and planetary science at the University of Colorado. He's involved with missions for NASA and the European and Japanese space agencies. So maybe there'll be a space jam here at some point. Next, we have James Etienne Viator. After college and a degree in history, James spent 4 years touring the country as the leader of a 1950s genre rock and roll band. He then worked on farms and pipeline survey crews before earning a law degree. After that, he entered a new phase of his life, lawyer by day, musician by night. Songwriter David Wilcox is now 18 albums into a career marked by personal revelation and wildly loyal fans, of which I'm sure we have many here today. His lyrical insight is matched by a smooth baritone voice, virtuosic guitar chops, and creative open tunings, giving him a range and tenderness rare in folk music. He is considered a songwriter's songwriter, and his songs have been covered by many other artists. Please join me in welcoming these wonderful people, David Grinspoon, James Viator, and David Wilcox, as we listen in on their musical conversation.
A guitar jam. What is a guitar jam? A guitar jam is the back porch here at Mackey. And we hear these bios spoken, where we know that something's broken, 'cause we know we don't fit in. I always wanted to be an astrobiologist. I always wanted to know the way life could be seen as a mystery, could be seen as inside of me, but also as my destiny to work for a lifetime of achievement. And of course I play in the bars along the solar system. Those are dive gigs, and I would much rather play in other universes. But of course when I do, I find that they speak many other languages, not just linguistically, but chemically, and it's fascinating for me. So please imagine the mercy I must hold, knowing that I'm an astrobiologist, and no one told that poor musician that he would have to try to keep up with me galactically. So all he can do is make up some silly words to go along with the thoughts he dreams as he welcomes people in. But you should know that a guitar jam, a real good guitar jam, is not just modeling the things that we can do for you. It's also modeling the way we make it through when we're feeling like we might not have all the understanding of those around us. Still something's found us. So when you hear the three of us, when we sing each of our songs, just remember that the goal is to imagine you're singing along. Imagine you're up here with the three of us in the spirit of the CWA, and imagine that you will have to play. I don't want wanna hear this stuff about, oh, maybe you're not as good as you wanna be. Oh, the universe can't wait for that kind of timidness, you see. Because when it comes to the field of astrobiology, we have to come up with the best that we know how, and then chime in and make it music somehow. David, take us there, would you?
So now I'm going to give a science lecture about the astrobiology of songwriting.
Yes! Will there be an exam?
The story of David Wilcox. So it starts 13.7 billion years ago. No, sorry, that's a different panel.
There were a lot of hot gases, and there still are.
A swirling disk of gas. Well, I thought it would be neat, maybe, to, this being a scholarly conference, to place a couple of tunes written by the most recent Nobel laureate in literature.
Woo!
Let me think. All right, so this is sort of a slightly obscure Dylan song. And then I have a more like sing-alongy one that we should do, but this one is
No worries, go.
G, C, C sharp minor, C, E minor, G. And this is one of his bitter, nasty Dylan songs. Somehow Dylan could do bitter and nasty and make it sound like spiritual and inspiring.
Yes.
And you know, maybe this is a song to arm us for these times. I don't know. It's a weird song, but I like it. You've got a lot of nerve. Say you are my friend. When I was down, you just stood there grinning. You've got a lot of nerve. Say you've got a helping hand to lend. You just wanna be on the side that's winning. You see me on the street, you always act surprised. You say hello, good luck, how are you? But you don't mean it. When I know as well as you, you'd rather see me paralyzed. Why don't you just come out once and scream it? Just one time you could stand inside my shoes, and for just that one moment I could be you. Yes, I wish for just one time you could step into my shoes. Then you know what a drag it is to see you. Is that a burn or what?
All right, the aisles are empty. It's the dance portion of the program. So later on, I'm gonna do some songs from my home state and town, New Orleans, Louisiana. But I want to start with this greatest song. There's been a lot of songs written with the word sugar in them, but this is the best. Sugar pie, honey bunch, you know that I love you. I can't help myself now, baby. I'm loving you and nobody else. In and out my life, you come and you go, leaving just your picture behind now, baby. I kissed it 1,000 times. When you snap your finger and wink your eye, I come running to you. Oh, I'm tied to your apron string, baby. There's nothing that I can do. Sugar pie, honey bunch, you know that I love you. I can't help myself now, baby, 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 love you nobody else. All right, take it, David. Sugar pie, honey bunch, you know that I love you. I can't help myself now, baby. I'm loving you and nobody else. Tell you that I love you, tell you that we're through, honey, and I try, but every time I see your face, baby, oh, I get all boined up inside. When I call your name, girl, it starts to flame. Ooh, burning in my heart, tearing me apart. No matter how I try, my love I cannot hide. Sugar pie, honey bunch, you know that I love you. I can't help myself now, baby. I'm loving you and nobody else. Sugar pie, honey bunch, weaker than a man should be. I can't help myself now, baby. I'm loving you and nobody else, baby. That's the best sugar song ever written.
Not bad for a lawyer.
When I was deciding to be a musician, I realized that I would disappoint everyone who loved me. I knew that my goal was not a necessary goal, you know? I mean, you never think about needing a lawyer until you need a lawyer. And then it's like the only thing you need. And our planet might think, oh, what's the use of astrobiologists, until suddenly there's some life form that shows up from some source that we're not prepared for. And we say, call in the astrobiologist, by all means. But for me, it was just to find a way to listen to my own heart. I would come to the guitar as if it were some sort of oracle. And I'm sure that after our work is done, whatever we do, we come to our guitars as if we're saying, tell me what I need to know about right where I live, inside my own skin, my own heart. And so this is a song about landing. And although I love hanging out with the astrobiologists and the astrophysicists, when I ask my questions to the astrophysicists, I'm so glad they will listen to my questions. I was asking one astrophysicist yesterday, so the only reason why we've come up with dark matter and dark energy is because the spiral galaxies don't turn according to gravity working as, like, you know, diminishing according to the square of the distance. And that's an assumption that means that rotation is always absolute. But what if it's relative? And she said, I thought she was going to say, get away from me, you weirdo. But she said, no, actually, there's a lot of astrophysicists who are wondering if you rotated in an empty universe and there was nothing to rotate relative to, would you in fact feel centripetal force? It's a question we all ask ourselves, don't we? Late at night? So I've decided that when I talk to the astrophysicist, I come back to my gratitude about things like gravity. And this question is, will we ever land a man on Earth? Will we ever land a man on Earth instead of blasting off in space? There is a world to explore outside your door in your encounters with the human race. When we tried to fly away into the last frontier, we found that there was nowhere we could go from here but turn to face each other and away from fear. Shift your rockets into reverse. What's it take to land a man on Earth? Will we ever land a man on Earth? Will we ever land a man on Earth? Could we ever go that far? I know that mission is bold to set that goal instead of stopping with the moon and Mars. Leave behind the superstitions with their gravitation. Respect the ecosystem of our interrelation. And find the deeper channels of communication to give each of us a sense of worth. What's it take to land a man on Earth? Will we ever land a man on Earth? Finally understand. Will we ever land a man on Earth? Most of us remain afraid. Well, there are things we could say, but we're too far away for our humanity to be conveyed. There's a vast cold nervousness we'd have to traverse to meet our not so distant neighbor in the universe, who speaks a common language but we can't converse, 'cause we're fearful we'll make things worse. Oh, what's it take to land a man on Earth? We're all gonna have to pitch in if we're gonna land a man on Earth. David, tell us, how do we do it? How do we pick the right notes to fall together in a big harmony? It's a small step to take, but it's a hero's flight to see a point of view when we assumed we were right, but come to see our planet in a whole new light, like the mother who gave us birth. Oh, what's it take to land a man? Will we ever land a man? Finally understand a man on earth. Will we ever land a man
Yeah, they can send a man to the moon, but why can't they send all of them there? I got a song I wrote that's sort of new, and so I need my cheat sheet here, but I want to try to do it for you guys. And it's pretty simple, so you guys can sort of just...
Yeah.
It's in A. It's mostly A, E, F sharp minor, and D, for those of you making notes. There's a bridge where it goes to G, and that's like pretty much it. Yeah. And it's got a little bit of, it's sort of a, well, you'll see what it is. It's called the People's Evolution. It goes... Look out any window, up at any tree. Who sees it knows it. All life is family. If you're feeling lost, we got a real solution. Don't know where you come from, we got a true revolution. Oh, feel where you are, we got the people's evolution. It's the greatest story that's ever been told. Life in all its glory, as new as it is old, passed down through the ages, life's heredity, freed from our mental cages, finding our true history. So tell the children the truth, don't deny them, don't deny them their roots. Tell the children the truth, don't deny them, don't deny them their roots, 'cause evolution is true. It's not found in pages, it's written in our cells. It doesn't come from sages, the story of life only life will tell. So look out any window, up at any tree. Who sees it knows it, all life is family. Who sees it knows it, all life is family. Who knows it, feels it, all life is family. So tell the children the truth, don't deny them, don't deny them their roots. Tell the children the truth, die than their roots, 'cause evolution is true.
Nice song. Great lyric.
We could do that right now. Next year. So last year there were some wonderful, wonderful ladies. I hope they're back. I mean, there's a lot of wonderful ladies at this conference. But are the Yaya-ettes here? The Yaya-ettes? Oh my God! Somebody's gonna have to take the Yaya-ettes' place. We're gonna do an old New Orleans Creole rock and roll song. Sitting in the la-la. La-la is a French dance. Waiting for my yaya. Yaya is my little all in all. So we're going to do that right now. And last year, the Yaya-ettes just about took over the stage. C and F, alternating C and F, and then just the G, F.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And you're going to do the C, F, C, F, C, F.
All right.
Waiting for my yaya. Sitting in the la-la, waiting for my yaya. It may sound funny, but I don't believe she's coming in. Oh, my. Oh, to the horn. My, yeah. My, Well, I dépêche-toi, oui, pas tracassez-moi. Dépêche-toi, oui, pas tracassez-moi. Mon amour, l'aimez-vous beaucoup, oh, pick me some blues now. Pas tracassez-moi. Dépêche-toi, oui, pas tracassez-moi. Connais-moi, l'aimez-vous beaucoup. Oh, ma. Pick some more, baby. Well, I was sitting in the la-la, waiting for my yaya. Sitting in the la-la, waiting for my yaya. You know that I love you, no one above you. Oh, my. Come on over here, girl. This ain't no la-la without you, Yaya. Come on in here. Standing over there with your skinny little legs hanging out your raggedy dress and everything. Come on over here, girl. I can't rap back your way over on the other side of that room. Come on down here in the front row and dance with me, Yaya. You know you my Yaya. Sitting la la, waiting for my ya. You know, you're sitting in the la la, waiting for my ya. Oh, know that I love you, no one above you. Oh, my. Well, I'm sitting in the la la. I'm waiting for my ya. I'm sitting in the ya. I'm waiting. Oh, sitting in the la la, waiting for my ya. Sitting in the la la, waiting for my ya. Sitting in the la la, waiting for my ya.
Oh, here's another song that shows my longing to be an astrophysicist. But an astrophysicist that appreciated Earth so much, so much. I do love when I come here and just the lunch table conversations. Oh my God. I love that my brain has just now thought these thoughts. I love how that it's a stretch. So when I come back to my little town and my little house and my little yard, I have seen a bigger view. A tiny little planet swirling through the stars in a traffic jam of orbits, Jupiter and Mars, dodging down the beltway, driving way too fast, with the searchlights of the galaxy twinkling from the past. At the edge of where it's turning, going faster as it spins, there's a view into the darkness where emptiness begins. A tiny little planet, a backyard with a hedge. We were safe there in the middle, but the view is from the edge. Like the ones up on the towers, who really feel it sway when they're dashed against the railing and the railing breaks away, and they're hanging by the wreckage and they feel it start to give. If they had the time to tell you, they could tell you how to live. When the movie's over and we're back out on the street, It rained while we were in there, so it shimmers at our feet. Reflections of the skyline sparkling above. And so we ride up to the top floor, falling more in love. So before we go into the next verse, you have to remember where we left our heroes. It was two lovers. They were watching a movie. I know you didn't know that at first until I said it in the second verse. It was a cliffhanger of a movie, and they come out. And after that adrenaline of that cliffhanger movie, they come out and they see the streets are wet with rain and it shimmers. They're in a city. The lights of the skyline sparkle in front of them as they're walking, and they realize they have to walk to one of those skyscrapers that they can go up on the observation tower. They have to. They just came from that movie where they were feeling all that adrenaline of close calls. So now, for some reason, they have to make it real. We don't know why yet. We don't know what lies in store. It could be that on their way up the elevator, up to the observation tower, someone else will get in the elevator, someone who can see something they can't see. We'll have to listen carefully to see if that happens. When the movie's over and we're back out on the street, it rained while we were in there, so it shimmers at our feet. The reflection of the skyline sparkling above, and so we ride up to the top floor, falling more in love. The elevator opens. An old man with a cane, he steps in kinda slowly and winces with the pain, or maybe with the memory to see that dress you in a fashion so familiar. He's trying not to stare. Why? 'Cause you look like his first love, when he could run for miles. She wore a dress just like yours, and now it's back in style. He can see the beauty that you cannot perceive until you earn the eyes to glimpse it just before you leave. The balcony is bending, it will take our breath away. The fall is never ending, but it's here we want to stay. The precipice of darkness, our toes right on the ledge. We were safe there in the middle. view is from the edge. A tiny little planet, a galaxy of stardust, nothing but a wisp whirling through the darkness into the abyss. A tiny little planet, a backyard with a hedge. We were safe there in the middle, but the view is from the edge.
What key? Sure.
All right. We have time for about one more. So, you know, some people were pissed that they gave the Nobel Prize to Bob Dylan. I thought it was great.
I thought it was cool that he didn't show up.
Yeah, and it was also cool that he didn't show up. Yeah, because he's Bob. He doesn't have
busy,
to.
you
He's
know.
busy. Got other things to do. But some people were like, what about Leonard Cohen? What about Joni Mitchell? What about, and they're right. But I felt like, in a way, by honoring Bob, they were also honoring Leonard Cohen and Joni Mitchell and Neil Young, and you know, the list goes on, and David Wilcox. You know, that popular music is a form of poetry and literature that's embedded in our lives and is important and it should be recognized. And so if you have to pick one person, of course it's going to be Bob, right? So,
Yeah.
And also I would think, I would add in that list Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, which was a way of segueing into this song. He's gonna keep doing that while I find the lyrics. I got him. Well, I told you once and I told you twice, but you never listened to my advice. Don't try very hard to please me. What you know, it should be easy. Well, this could be the last time. This could be the last time. Maybe the last time. I don't know. Oh no. Well, I'm sorry, girl, but I can't stay feeling like I do today. Too much pain and too much sorrow. Well, I guess I'll feel the same tomorrow. Well, this could be the last time. This could be the last time. Maybe the last time. I don't know. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, Red, give me some game. Well, I told you once and I told you twice, listen to pay the price. Well, there's a chance to change your mind. 'Cause I'll be gone a long, long time. Well, this could be the last time. This could be the last time. Maybe the last time. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Well, I don't. This could be the last time. I don't know. Be the last time. This could be the last time. This could be the last time.
Maybe the last time. Not maybe the last time. Not maybe the last time. Not maybe the last time. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 This ain't gonna be the last time.
Thank you very much. We hope this isn't the last time.
Yeah.
David Wilcox. James Viator. And some astrobiologist.
So I'm going to do real quick. I promised I'd do a Cajun song for my very favorite Okie Kunas, Pat, right there. That's a very small category, but she is my favorite Okie Kunas. We're going to do a Zydeco song, as y'all file out, called the Eunice Two-Step. G, C, and D. Tigone, ma chère bébé, Tigone, ma chère catin, oh, ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Et la belle Eunice, et la grande Eunice, oh, ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Tigone, ma chère bébé, Tigone, ma malheureuse, oh, ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Oh yeah, Zydeco, me Zydeco, hey mama, me Zydeco, ça passe aller. Oh yeah, donnez-moi le Zydeco, hey mama, me Zydeco, ça passe aller. Oh yeah, donnez-moi le Zydeco, hey mama, me Zydeco, ça passe aller. Oh yeah, donnez-moi le Zydeco, hey mama, me Zydeco, ça aller. Tu connais ma chère bébé, tu connais donc grand Eunice. Oh ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Tu connais ton grand Eunice, tu connais les belles Eunice. Oh, ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Oh, yeah, donnez-moi les Zydeco, hey, maman, mes Zydeco, ça passe aller. Oh, yeah, donnez-moi les Zydeco, hey, maman, mes Zydeco, ça passe aller. Oh, yeah, donnez-moi les Zydeco, hey, maman, mes Zydeco, ça passe aller. Oh, yeah, donnez-moi les Zydeco, hey, maman, mes Zydeco, ça passe aller. Tu connais ma chère bébé, tu connais ton grand Eunice. Oh, ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Tu connais ma malheureuse, tu connais ma chère bébé. Oh, ma chère catin, fais pas ça avec moi. Fais pas ça avec moi. Fais pas ça avec moi. See y'all next year.